Muslims and Jews, constantly at odds. But what if I told you they're actually brothers? Not just metaphorically, literally. This forgotten story of Isaac and Ishmael may shift how you view centuries of conflict, and maybe open a door to peace. Join me as we uncover the bond that ties two of the world's great faiths together. The ancient story of Isaac and Ishmael holds lessons that go beyond religion. It's a story of family, a story of lost brotherhood. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more stories like this, exploring the hidden truths of history and humanity. To understand the present, we have to go back, way back, to one man at the crossroads of history: Abraham. A towering figure revered by three of the world's major faiths: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. What many don't realize is that Abraham's story is a tale of two sons, two destinies, two peoples. Abraham's first son, Ishmael, was born to Hagar, the Egyptian maidservant of Abraham's wife Sarah. Years later, when Sarah miraculously gave birth in her old age, Isaac was born, the long-awaited child of promise. These two sons would become the patriarchs of two nations. From Isaac would come Jacob, later named Israel, and the 12 tribes of the Jewish people. From Ishmael, a great nation of 12 princes, the ancestors of many Arab peoples. Though their paths diverged, their stories remain deeply entwined and still shape the world we live in today. To understand the conflicts and connections of our modern era, we must first understand this ancient family drama, one that began in the desert sands of the Middle East. Though separated by centuries, the bond between these two brothers runs deeper than history often tells. Isaac and Ishmael, sons of Abraham, are honored by generations who revere their legacy. And while their paths diverged, their descendants hold many beliefs in common. At the heart of both traditions lies monotheism, the steadfast belief in one God. This foundational truth echoes through both Judaism and Islam. Circumcision, daily prayer, and hospitality. These shared practices reflect a common heritage rooted in reverence and ritual. They are more than customs, they are echoes of a sacred covenant. Even their legal traditions bear striking similarities: structured, sacred, and deeply moral. Torah and Sharia, though distinct, are both seen as divine guidance for righteous living. Isaac and Ishmael, remembered by different faiths, but both seen as children of the covenant. Two journeys, one origin, and a shared reverence that still echoes through generations. So, what went wrong? How did brothers become enemies? To understand the divide between Jews and Arabs, we must look beyond religion, into the tangled web of history, politics, and geography. According to the Abrahamic tradition, two sons, Isaac and Ishmael, went their separate ways. Isaac's descendants became the 12 tribes of Israel, the forefathers of the Jewish people. Ishmael's lineage spread across the Arabian Peninsula, giving rise to Arab nations. For centuries, these peoples coexisted, sometimes peacefully, sometimes not, under empires like the Romans, the Byzantines, and later the Islamic caliphates. But over time, shifting power dynamics, crusades, and colonial ambitions deepened mistrust. The 20th century marked a turning point. After centuries of diaspora, Jews returned to their ancestral homeland, a movement fueled by Zionism and the trauma of the Holocaust. In 1948, the modern state of Israel was born. For Palestinians and surrounding Arab nations, this was seen not as a return, but a displacement. The resulting Arab-Israeli wars and decades of conflict would leave scars still felt today. What began as a story of two brothers has become a geopolitical and humanitarian crisis, one still unfolding. And yet, understanding the past may be the first step toward peace. What began as a shared family story has evolved into one of the world's longest and most deeply rooted conflicts. Born from the same patriarch, Abraham, Jews and Muslims trace their lineage through Isaac and Ishmael. But over generations, this bond has been tested, fractured by political agendas, territorial disputes, and the scars of war. Yet beyond the headlines and history books, this story is not just about land or power. It's about families, parents burying children, communities shattered, lives lost. Still, in the quiet corners of pain, we find stories of compassion. Jews and Muslims offering aid, shelter, and solidarity, even when the world seems divided. Long ago, Isaac and Ishmael stood side by side at their father's burial. Their shared blood was a reminder that before politics, there was kinship. Today, that ancient brotherhood lies buried beneath walls of fear and mistrust. But perhaps if we listen closely, we can still hear the echo of unity waiting to rise again. Maybe it's time we remember who they really were. Brothers, not enemies. Isaac and Ishmael, two sons of Abraham. Their story didn't begin with division. It began with family. Through centuries, conflict and misunderstanding have clouded their legacy. But what if the path to peace doesn't begin with pointing out differences, but by recognizing our shared roots? The Bible reminds us, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." Matthew 5:9. And the Quran echoes, "Hold firmly to the rope of Allah altogether and do not become divided." Quran 3:103. If this story touched you, share it. Let's spread a message of peace and unity. Subscribe to learn more about the powerful connections that shape our world today. Together, we can spark the conversations that lead to lasting peace.